Welcome back to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I'm your host, Dara Whitman, and here with me is my co-host,
Cailin Clothier.
Hey.
What's up? How's it going?
How you doing?
You know what? It's going.
It's going?
Yeah.
All right.
We just finished watching a thing, and it was certainly a thing.
Yes. So, we're still watching Orphan Black, guys.
Yes.
I still have the power. I'm going to for a while now.
There's a cat right next to me.
Yep. We are still on season 1, and we are talking about episode 5, Conditions of Existence.
That's certainly a thing that is a thing.
So we start off on something that actually really has nothing to do with the episode, but it's just basically there is a man. His name is Tomas, and he is taking care of Helena because you remember in the last episode she kind of fell.
Yeah.
And that's the last we see of Helena for both of these episodes.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that because literally we just didn't see her again, so
Nope.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Nope. Then we go back to Sarah and Allison. They're having a video chat. Sarah's thanking her for, being there for Kira.
Yeah.
Paul comes back into the house
Yes.
while Sarah Beth is taking a shower, and sex scene ensues.
Yeah, they kind of do the thing.
Yeah, we talked about at least like somebody's getting something because there's this other bit where like Allison's like going to bed and Donnie's trying to calm a feel and she's like, no.
Yeah, she just slaps his hand away.
Like you do.
Love.
So they do that, and they were in bed, and Paul wants to go away on a vacation.
He just wants to get away.
He wants to get away, and Beth's like, "We'll talk about it in the morning." And then they go to bed, and nothing bad happens.
Nope.
Sarah does have this like weird dream that there are scientists all around her.
Yes.
Doing some experiments.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Very strange.
Very strange dream. But then she wakes up and realizes that's all a dream, and then she goes into the bathroom, brushes her teeth, and spits out a chip thing.
Yeah.
And notices that also there's an injection mark on her arm. So, wasn't a dream.
Wasn't a dream. The dream was a thing that actually happened.
I find it interesting because you were talking about the last episode, like, I find it interesting that like we're talking about the people who have been trying to kill the clones and not the people who created them.
Right.
And then literally the next episode, we're starting to learn a bit, aren't we?
Well, nobody ever said that was the people who created them, though.
But they're not the people who created them, but like they're definitely involved.
They're involved, yeah.
They're involved somehow.
Yeah.
So Sarah goes over to Felix's, and Allison is there. They're talking to Cosima on the on like video chat, and they're telling her they're telling them what's going on. Mm-hmm. Cosima says like there probably wasn't anything like invasive going on. It was probably just like monitoring like the brain and like checking for like blood.
Yeah, like kind of a standard checkup.
Yeah. And Cosima brings up the fact that like probably if she had an experiment, she would keep somebody close to the experiment at all times to monitor it.
Right.
And so we're suspecting with Beth that it's probably Paul. Mm-hmm. So, not the best thing in the world.
Right.
Also, with Allison, it's probably her husband, Donnie.
Yeah.
And that it does not sit well with Allison. Mm-hmm. She might be losing it. Mm-hmm. Especially when we learn later on. She's definitely losing it.
She's kind of on the edge there. She's a paranoid mama.
Yeah, also to bring this slight thing to this come up later, Allison is giving Sarah about $20,000 just in case.
Right.
That's important.
Part of that safety fund.
Then Allison leaves, and Sarah, whatever. That gets confusing. Gets a call from Raj and says, "Hey, they're doing inventory soon. You still have that surveillance equipment that I lent you?" So we learned that Beth might have also been in on Paul knowing something. Mm-hmm. So let's go find some spy stuff.
Yeah.
And we and that's kind of where that ends for there. We jump back to Allison, who is she notices Donnie is just like on the phone with somebody and talking suspiciously and just like looking through Allison's stuff.
Yeah.
Because he says he's looking for scissors, which are on
They're like
top.
right there.
Yeah. He claims he's talking to somebody about work. And she's just kind of like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Allison starts snooping through his stuff, and all she finds is the dreaded porn.
Just porn, yeah.
Big blue boob blowy.
I don't think that's what it was called. It's
called big boob blowy.
Nice.
I know this stuff.
I know my porn.
Anyway, back to Beth's apartment. Felix is looking around, and they find a box of Paul's with a gun.
Yeah.
That's always good. And they find out that he used to be in the military.
Yes.
Which, who knows if anybody knew that. He also got a Purple Heart.
Yes.
So, it's probably good with that kind of thing. Also, they find...
Well, Purple Heart is you get injured during the
So it's
service.
probably it's probably injured.
Yeah. Is it the same in Canada? Stupid question.
It says on the wiki, it says military days including a U.S. Purple Heart medal.
Oh.
So he might not even be
US.
he might not even be Canadian.
The liar.
Well, also while they find out like exactly where he works, and they find the surveillance clip was actually in Beth's car. Mm-hmm. And Sarah's like, all right, I'm going to go to his work. And then Felix actually brings up the point, like, if it's all fake, the workplace might be fake too.
Right.
Which it's not. Apparently, like, he actually does have a job.
Yeah, it looks kind of fake at first, but
that's because it's under construction.
Yeah.
And so they go to, Sarah goes to his work, tries to, like, plants, like, an audio thing. Mm-hmm. And Paul comes in and tries to seduce her. Again, more sex.
Yeah, he really wants it.
But he notices something, that Beth used to have a scar on the back of her neck, and now she does not.
Yeah, that's strange.
A little bit. Like, she just says, like, oh, it's like lotion, which, there is actually lotion that can get rid of a scar.
Right.
So, who knows? But he's suspicious.
He is very suspicious.
Yep. So he's like, and Felix hears that he's supposed to clear out his schedule. And he's later on, we see him with a guy named Olivier.
Yes.
And that's it. So that's it for that part. Then we're cutting back to the University of Minnesota. We're hanging out with Cosima.
Yes.
And she's hanging out with her buddy Scott. I don't know if they said his name, but his name's Scott.
Okay.
Who's just a nerd.
Just a big nerd.
Giant nerd.
A lot of nerds here.
And they're talking about, like, nerdy stuff. And, like, it's... Okay, here's the thing. It's clear. Scott, like, wants Cosima.
Yeah.
So hard.
He does.
And he's just too awkward about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, you just don't have a chance. And as we see a little later on, he definitely doesn't have a chance.
No, definitely not.
Because Cosima notices a young French woman who's crying. Mm-hmm. And she, at one point, she just, like, leaves the area and conveniently leaves on a piece of paper that is her report card.
Yes.
And she's very smart.
She's very smart.
So then we cut back to Sarah. Beth is reading a letter that Beth is reading. This is getting so confusing. Sarah's reading a letter that Beth and Paul had to each other, and basically, she thinks she knows why Beth killed herself, which was because she was so in love with Paul, and Paul wasn't, because obviously, like, it was just his job,
right?
But he wouldn't leave her, and then she figured it out that he was a monitor,
right?
And then killed herself, which is depressing.
That's really sad.
Yep. But we're going to stop that for a bit, because right now she's got to walk her daughter home from school.
Yay.
And it's adorable.
They have their reunion.
And it's so cute.
Their real reunion.
And I hope nobody's watching.
And I hope nobody is spying in on this moment.
Yep. And they take her off to take her back to Mrs. S. And her and Mrs. S have a conversation. She wants to know where she came from, basically, like who brought her to Mrs. S, essentially.
Right.
Which is probably interesting to know. Mm-hmm. So that works out. And
yeah, but they don't really have any information outside of that.
Yeah. Because she's an orphan.
She's an orphan. She's an orphan black. That's the show. That's it. Title drop. Roll credits.
Well, so then after that, she goes over to Felix's, who's sleeping with the orderly, which is probably not the best thing to do. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's a cute scene, though.
Yeah.
And they find out that, so Felix basically, like, while he's doing this, he was recording what was going on.
Right.
So he recorded the whole conversation with Olivier, which basically just, like, fully admits that Paul is the monitor.
Yeah.
Like, literally, they just, like, I found that interesting. Like, they weren't, like, being super elusive. They're just like, nope, we're going to drop this. Mm-hmm. So Sarah's pissed, like you do. But then she gets a call from Paul, basically saying, you need to come home, we need to talk. And she's like, no, I'm good. Mm-hmm. But then he sends her pictures of her with Kira. Yeah. Which sets her off.
Yeah. Because you don't mess with her baby.
No. We then have a small conversation. There's like a small conversation with Cosima and Delphine, the French woman whose name is Delphine.
Delphine. Hello.
Hello. So there's that. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Vic comes back, and it's stupid, and I don't care about him. And
I really don't care about Vic.
He gets his finger cut off.
Oh, yeah.
He gets his finger cut off. Basically what this is he gets his finger cut off, and then we cut to Allison, who's going to buy spy stuff. Mm-hmm. Because she's spying on her husband, and she lets her kids go get a piece of candy bar, and they run into Vic, and he's being creepy, and I'm like so proud of like little Oscar who's just like protecting his little sister.
Yeah.
And then Vic sees Allison and thinks she's Sarah and freaks out and like is like kind of assaulting her, which is not good. But then she assaults him back in the best way possible. And so that's that. That's kind of the end of that. So then now we know that
Vic is out there.
We know Vic is out there.
He's on the loose.
Well, before Sarah goes to, kill Paul, essentially, Vic comes in and is kind of like super upset with Sarah. And she's just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to give you this money and you're going to go away.
Right.
And that's it. And we never saw him again.
Uh-huh. Yep. Nope. He'll never come back.
Nope.
We wrapped up that storyline. Great.
Yep. And something slight concluding Allison's story. She tries to open up the box again. It's already open, and Donnie put all the porno DVDs in there, and he is seen out in a field somewhere burning paper.
Yes.
That does not look good, does it?
Nope. That's incriminating.
So Sarah's about to go kill Paul because she's pissed at him. Cosima calls and tries to convince him to talk to her because she has a theory that like they might know they're definitely monitoring somebody, but they might not know why. Mm-hmm. They're just being told.
Right.
Which is an interesting thing.
Yes.
So then Sarah goes in. They both have their handguns out. Mm-hmm. And Paul's just kind of like, okay, like what's like I should have known, like blah blah blah, and showing the pictures of Kira, and we bring up this, and basically, like she's like he's like it's like this is your daughter, and I was with Beth the day she found out she couldn't have kids.
Right.
So interesting,
Bam.
Isn't it? Mm-hmm. So we have two clones now who have like probably had fertility problems, and one who has clearly not.
Right.
So. Paul basically says, like, who are you? Where's Beth? And Sarah's just like, she's dead. She killed herself because of you, because you're a dick. Mm-hmm. And of all that. Also says, like, my name's Sarah, and I'm English. And Paul says, like, he thinks he's being tested. And Sarah's like, well, is confused about that.
Right.
And basically Sarah's like, she loved you so much and you could never love her back and you were just using her and that made her kill herself.
You dick.
Well, then Paul also says something too, because he says he didn't have a choice and they don't tell him why. So clearly something else is like going on.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
And the end.
Yeah. Because that's kind of a good line that they leave on. Like, oh, yeah. So he basically reveals that he's working for somebody, but he doesn't know nothing.
Yep.
No squat.
Yeah. So we definitely know that one of their significant others is a monitor. We don't know if the other one is.
Right.
So what'd you think?
This was a good setup, I think. It was a good way to kind of transition into kind of find the spy. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember the other stuff that happened in this episode.
There was like a stuff with like Allison, which was kind of like just like funny. A lot of stuff with Allison and like Suburbia is just like kind of comedic. It
is funny, and it's funny to have that kind of plot on that kind of backdrop because you usually don't see that.
Yes.
So because usually like something like that, you're more of like a gritty kind of backdrop, but then you just have just suburbia be the setting for like all the stuff that went down makes it a lot funnier. So I really enjoy that. Yeah, Allison's stuff is fun in a way. I don't know. It's like interesting to watch.
I hope there's more of it.
I wonder if we'll see any more of it.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else important. I mean, basically, like, are you happy that like we're starting to like maybe delve into like who created them, or like at least? Yeah, I mean,
we're definitely getting more on that backstory of like who, what, when, where, why, and that's good. It's kind of like a slow reveal so far.
Yeah, I would say like so far, like at least like with the modern thing, like it actually like it makes 100% sense.
Yeah,
that there would be somebody. And, like, obviously, like, probably, like, when most of them were kids, it was, like, their parents. Mm-hmm. And then as they get older, you gotta, like, pick other people.
Yeah.
And, like, that kind of thing. So, do you have any theories on other monitors?
Oh, now you said parents. Now I'm thinking about the Mrs. S. Is she a monitor? That'd be something. Mm-hmm. That'd be crazy.
Is she? Well, we also, Sarah actually brought this up that, like, they hadn't seen each other for a year.
Yeah.
So.
It's been a while. So she would, so that would just make her a really bad monitor.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And also, like, the fact that, like, it seems like most of them, like, I'll say this, like, it seems like most of them know, like, where, like, who their families are, and Sarah doesn't.
Yeah.
So that might also lead to something interesting about Sarah.
Yeah.
Which, like...
She got lost in
Did she get lost?
She's lost.
Who knows? All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be talking about episode 6, Variations Under Domestication.
Stay tuned for these messages.
Yay! Let's talk about our sponsor, Cailin, deepdiscount.com.
Let's talk about it.
Guys, we all love having DVDs. There's some great stuff on DVDs and Blu-rays, like a bunch of special features. They're fantastic. That's the main reason I buy them.
Why stream a movie when you can get all those good behind-the-scenes features?
And the best place to find them, deepdiscount.com.
Yes.
An awesome website to find a ton of cool stuff without spending a lot of money, because you don't want to do that.
No, we don't even want to do that.
Yeah, and right now you can get a ton of award-winning movies because, the Oscars are coming up and you want to watch some good movies.
Yes.
Some great movies. For example, one of my favorite award-winning movies, Silver Linings Playbook. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah, that won a couple awards years ago.
Jennifer Lawrence won an Oscar for that.
J-Law won the Oscar.
You can get that for a little over $10.
A great movie at a great price.
You can also get some classic movies. For example, you can get Jaws on Blu-ray for under $10.
Nice.
I love Jaws. Have you seen Jaws?
I've seen Jaws.
That's a good movie.
Yes.
That's a solid horror movie.
With sharks.
Is it a real shark?
You mean it's not?
Oh, you. And you get all of this at deepdiscount.com, and they have even more stuff on DVDs, Blu-rays, 4K, whatever. Get it at deepdiscount.com, and be sure to look for special coupon codes and sale icons to save even more on their awesome low prices. Thanks, Deep Discount.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we're back.
Yay.
We're talking about Orphan Black Season 1, Episode 6, Variations Under Domestication.
That is a lot of words.
It is. So, I need to explain something to Cailin real quick, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, gosh.
This is kind of going to start this, trend that will literally say throughout the series.
Okay.
Which is, once a season, you're going to get sort of a suburban Allison-centric episode.
I'm excited about that. I'm
not
looking
saying
forward to that.
It's not always going to be, in the house and, like a party kind of thing, but it's always going to be, something's gonna kind of focus around Allison, because she's kind of outside of what everybody else is doing, because they're handling the mystery, and Allison's the one with a full life,
yes,
Asima has a life, but it can mainly be involved around science.
Yeah, it's a lot of science stuff,
and Sarah's stuff is around finding the mystery for the most part,
right? And
her daughter, but that's kind of,
it's all kind of wrapped in the same thing.
Yeah. So Allison's the one who's really outside of the box, and there's Helena, but she's whatever. She's there. I mean, I don't know. Is she the crazy one? Is Helena the crazy one?
They're all a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I forgot to mention this in the last episode. Allison has placed a small nanny cam.
Yes.
In her jewelry box, and has recorded her and Donnie sleeping. Mm-hmm. So she gets up and watches the footage, and it seems fine, except for there's one part where Donnie gets up.
Yeah.
Looks at Allison and then leaves. Yeah. And it doesn't come back because the memory card gets full.
Right. But it's at least a few hours go by.
Yeah. A couple. And so she's like, oh my God, he's my monitor. And so she kind of snaps, but he's kind of frantic because something's going on. Right. And so he's about to go out and get stuff because you're all right, what's going on? And then she just clubs him.
Yeah, she takes the golf club and just whacks.
That was fun.
Inside the head, yep.
You had fun with that.
Yes.
And so, okay, when we cut back to Sarah and Paul, and they're kind of talking about the monitoring thing, basically saying after in the military, Paul was a private contractor, and he did something happen, and this company is using it as leverage. Mm-hmm. So that's why he's a monitor. Mm-hmm. And then he doesn't really know anything else. He just knows they do medical tests, and they go to Olivier, and that's about it. And he just has to tell them on what's going on with her. Right. And then Sarah decides to take a shower, quote unquote, and then goes away.
Yeah, because it's really smart because she goes and turns on the water and then, to cover up the sound of her opening a window and jumping out.
Yeah, that was smart.
She's very smart. Sarah's a very smart character, and I really love it.
She's a con artist, kind of. So I think she knows
she has got a lot of street smarts. She can figure stuff out really well, and like that's what I really enjoy about her character is that she's really smart and she just knows how to do things.
I think what we're learning about like all these characters, like there's like one certain thing that they're really, really smart about.
Yeah.
And then there's other stuff that they're just like idiots about.
Yeah.
Like, so Sarah calls Cosima, basically explaining like Paul doesn't know what's going on. He just knows he's monitoring his people.
Yeah.
And Cosima brings up that like she's actually new to this university and she didn't bring anybody with her, but she thinks that Delphine may be her monitor.
Right.
She has a theory, and I think she's just trying to do a thing where it's like, I'm just gonna like see if I can like get her on our side and like try to convince her, like try to like maybe like feed her different information.
Okay.
But like that she just like and Sarah's like, no, stay away, because like Cosima just wants.
She just wants it.
She wants it. But like, so that's why I find that interesting, because like Cosima's obviously like science wise and like educational wise, she's super smart. But like, it sounds like she's trying to like deal with like personal feelings, and who knows if it's gonna end well. Mm-hmm. From the end of this episode, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Sarah gets a call from Allison, who's like, "Come help me," because bad stuff's about to go down.
Yeah, it's about to get real.
What happens is she has tied Donnie to a chair.
Yes.
With leopard duct tape. Mm-hmm. And she's got like her craft stuff out.
Yeah, that's like a whole craft room. Actually, it's very nice. It's a very well done.
Yeah.
It's a very nice house.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Donnie does for a living. Business.
Yeah.
So
business.
They're probably pretty well off.
Oh yes, obviously.
And she's gonna begin torturing him. She's got like her glue gun out. And there's like a thing where he's like, "What are you gonna do? Like sequence stuff to me?" And I'm like, "Honey, that's hot glue."
Yeah.
Especially like when something goes off.
Oh, yeah. Oh no. Yeah, it accidentally gets off, and he yeah, it sounds painful.
Yeah, and she's just like, she slaps him a couple times, and then Sarah shows up, and it's basically like, "What's going on?" And then she just sees Donnie's just like tied up in his pajamas. She's got like those like giant headphones on. He's got the eye mask on. He's got a sock in his mouth, and it's the funniest thing.
Oh no, this poor guy.
And then Allison, who's still in her pajamas, hears a bunch of people like coming, like ring the doorbell and coming into her house.
Yeah.
It turns out that that's why, for the reason Donnie was so frantic, it's the monthly potluck.
They're hosting the potluck.
I never had that.
No, we never really done a potluck before.
With like a neighbors?
No.
That's like, no, I mean, we've had like parties.
Never had a potluck.
But yeah, that just seems like such a white Stepford wife thing to do. And like, I just found this like whole thing weird. I was like writing about it because like, and they have like gift bags. Like, do you do that for a monthly pot? That's weird.
I don't know. I
don't know
what all those suburban moms do.
So hence, though, we're just gonna have a giant party while our husband's being tortured. Mm-hmm. But luckily, there's two of them. So Allison is basically just like, "All right, I'm gonna go handle the party, and you will." And says Sarah, "You pretend to be me and get some information out of him." Mm-hmm. It's gonna go so well.
Perfect.
Okay, we're going to cut back to Minnesota, and Cosima's there, and she sees Delphine again, and they are talking, and she's like, "I'm like, let's find something to do," and Delphine brings up a lecture on Neolution by a Dr. Leakey. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they decide to go to that, and we cut back to Paul, who's been tracking Sarah, so Paul's probably thinking about going over to Suburbia to confront Sarah, which will be interesting. Mm-hmm. And also we say that he took some of her pills and drugged a bottle of alcohol.
Yeah.
Which will come up later.
Yes.
So they're running so basically the potluck is going on, and it's just kind of like the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Also because Allison took some happy pills with some wine, which you don't want to do.
No, that's bad. She went night-night.
Well, first she got super drunk. And also Sarah calls Felix because they need a bartender, and Felix is a fucking saint.
He's so good.
So then Sarah interrogates Donnie, and it's just like a real interrogation scene, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's just so funny, like the clash of like she's using like standard craft mom stuff to like interrogate. It's really funny.
Yeah, well,
It's good.
And Donnie's starting to get like really upset, especially when he like hears everybody and notices the potluck's still going on. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, you crazy bitch. And then Sarah goes off as Allison.
Yeah.
And is like, hey, you will respect your wife.
Right.
And like freaks him out a bit.
Yeah.
That and like I found it funny, like Donnie didn't pick up. That's probably because he was terrified. But like he said, she doesn't say like you will respect me. She says you will respect your wife, which I feel like somebody would pick up if they weren't so terrified.
No, sometimes people just get so angry they start talking to the third person.
That's true. Okay, so back to Cosima. They go to the lecture and we meet Dr. Leakey, and he's kind of like the fun doctor.
Yeah, he gives the fun TED Talks and everything.
Yeah, he's played by Matthew Frewer, I think, who
was he in? Like, what was he in?
He's in a bunch of stuff.
I felt like I recognized him, but I didn't know from what. Like, what would I know?
I saw him in Watchmen. He had a small part in that. I saw him in. Did you ever see that miniseries Alice?
No.
It was on Sci-Fi. It's not that good. He's in that. He's apparently in a bunch of like Stephen King. He's like one of those character actors. Like you've seen him.
Oh, okay.
Like a bunch of times. I think this is like one of his bigger roles though. So they go to the lecture. They meet Dr. Leakey, and he's showing interest in Cosima.
Yes.
I wonder why. He also talks about like his institution where he works at, the Dyad Institution.
Yes.
Yes.
That sounds like it's something that's going to play a big role in something.
It might. You never know. So we go back to, I keep saying suburbia. It's technically Scarborough.
Yeah.
So Felix arrives in suburbia gear. And unbeknownst to him, Vic has broken into his apartment and knows where he's going. So everything's just gonna front each, I don't know.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Everything's gonna crash and burn.
Yeah, that's true.
And so Felix comes by, he's trying to help out, and Allison comes down, she's trashed.
Yeah.
And Sarah's like, look, he's not your monitor. You've known him since high school. Like, he wouldn't, like, right, why would he be your monitor? Paul's military.
Right. Yeah.
Like, come on.
He has, like, experience and training and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it can't be Donnie.
Donnie's just, like, a dude.
Yeah, and, like, it's probably one of the bitches upstairs.
Yeah.
Which, like, for a while, I was thinking, like, that doesn't make sense. Because, like, when you want somebody, like, super close. But then I'm also thinking, like, well, technically, like, if you think of Paul, for example, like, he's not around Beth. He wasn't around Beth 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess it makes sense that, like, and also, like, it'd be, like, more make sense if it's just, like, somebody, like, you met while you moved into the neighborhood and not, like, somebody you've known for a good chunk of your life.
Right.
That's kind of the end of that. And, but Sarah's, like, relaxed, coming for a bit, but then Vic shows up and Paul around the same time. And they want to confront each other. Or, like, Sarah and Vic need to talk, and, like, so then Sarah's like, fine, like, go upstairs, we'll talk. And he thinks, like, she's doing a job, and he wants a cut. Because he's still a dick.
Yeah, because he hasn't changed.
At all. Despite how much you wanted to, probably not want to.
I don't really care.
So then Paul comes into the house and sees Allison, and she's just like, what is going on? And then sees Donnie in the other room all tied up. And it's just like, the fuck? But then looks at because the nanny cam's still on, and sees Sarah and Vic talking, and like realizes what's like the deal is. So then he goes up to help. Right. It basically is trying to, say like, oh, she works for me and that kind of thing. But then Vic has a gun for some reason. I don't know. So Paul and Vic go downstairs because they get interrupted by Ainsley, who might be the monitor. Who knows?
Who knows?
And so Vic and Paul go downstairs. Ainsley and Sarah have a conversation. It's not that interesting. Paul basically gets the upper hand on Vic and beats the crap out of him. And basically wants to know about Sarah.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And that kind of thing. And so they're and basically Sarah's like comes down and basically says like, he doesn't know anything. You need to like, just let him go. I will tell you everything. Right. And then Gemma shows up and Paul's like got like a nail gun and just like not accidentally nail guns Vic's hand, which was fun. Poor chair. Yeah. But then Vic goes away, and we're good. And that kind of ends that. There's like a couple other scenes, but it's not that important. So we cut to Allison, who's now sobered up, and Donnie. And you're just like looking at Donnie. She's so sad.
Poor Donnie.
Poor Donnie.
He doesn't deserve this.
Anyway, but he admits that he did have a secret, which was an emotional affair?
No, it was still kind of an affair. It just wasn't
like he admitted that he hooked up with this girl, but they were broken up. Yeah. So that doesn't count. But like they were having like dirty talk. They wrote like letters back to each other, and it was like dirty talk. So kind of I'd say emotional affair. Right. And then she got lupus, and then he never heard from her again. And he just said, I wanted something to myself. And you feel bad for the guy. And it's like, it seems like they might be reconciling a little bit.
Yeah. I hope they can do that.
They're cute.
Yeah, they're nice. It's a nice suburban couple.
Yep. And Sarah and Paul go back to, I guess, Paul's place and not her place anymore.
Right, yeah.
And he gets out the poison bottle of alcohol.
Right.
Because she doesn't think, I think he probably assumed she wasn't going to talk. But then she tells him that they're clones.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. And then
should have said that first.
And then gets another bottle out, and they drink, and we're all good.
Yay.
And then we cut to Delphine going into hotel room. Dr. Leakey's hotel room.
Oh.
And it looks like they might be doing it. Are you sad about that?
Listen, if I know anything, it's that the gays will prevail. This is only a minor setback.
But it doesn't actually look good.
It doesn't look good at all.
It looks like we're playing with poor little Casima's heart.
Yes. Oh, no. Don't do this. Oh, no.
And Casima being your favorite, I understand.
She is my favorite.
I knew that.
Because you have me pegged.
I do. I don't know who you think. I don't know who you think my favorite is. I don't know if I have a favorite.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I was talking with somebody about that. I'm like, who's my favorite? And I kept saying, like, I really like Casima, but, like, Sarah's kind of a tough chick.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's like, I really like Allison. And I'm like, I like her too. Because she's just fun.
She is a fun
character.
They're all
fun.
Yeah, they're good, just well-rounded characters that are just fun to watch.
Yeah. So, there's that. And that's the end of the episode. So what'd you think? What'd you think?
There's so much happened in this episode. Like, every other second I was like, oh, man, somebody else is walking into the party. It was one where it was like, oh my gosh, it was a little like anxiety inducing because I'm like, oh my god, so much is happening at once. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode just like kind of feels like it feels out of place, but it isn't out of place.
Right. Yes, I agree.
Because like definitely plot moves.
Yeah, it just kind of moves in like a different way than it was in the past. It doesn't veer in a different direction. It just kind of like takes a different road.
Yeah. So, what do you think about monitors? Do you think we found Allison's?
I don't know.
I think, we definitely know Beth's.
Right?
We have a feeling that we probably know Casima's, which, you know, sucks for her.
Yeah.
Allison's the only mystery. So we got, technically, we thought it was Donnie, but now we're thinking it's Ainsley, who's like her best friend, I guess. Yeah. So, are you down with that?
Well, if this show has taught me anything, it's don't expect anything. But that's a good lead, I think. That's a good direction to go in.
Yeah. And I guess it was this episode, like, we basically are just, like, kind of focusing on, like, who created them. Because we don't, like, focus on, like, the mystery at all, like, the detective with the cops at all.
Right.
Or Helena. It's just kind of, like, a focus on this. And, like, introducing this new aspect.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
The cops are really out of focus in these last two episodes.
Well, so was Helena. She was just in one little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so like that whole side plot, you know, we're not really talking about that. We're talking about other stuff, which is still good. It's good stuff. It's different, but it's good.
I mean, who knows? Maybe by the end it'll all converge.
I mean, hopefully. That's kind of what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That's how a standard story goes.
Standard story.
Yes.
Trying to think of what else there was.
What do you think?
I mean, these are two episodes. I forgot, like, how much I actually really enjoyed these episodes. And I forgot how much I enjoyed, like, those, like, Allison sort of... I always say, like, people call them, like, Allison-centric. It's kind of more just, like, sticking with that community.
Right.
And it's just kind of, like, a fun... I don't remember what the 4th season one was, but I remember the other ones.
Oh, okay.
And they're just, like, they're ridiculous. So...
That's good, though. I mean, I'm looking forward to that, to seeing more of that. I think that'll be good. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I think that's it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good music in this one.
Yes. Spice Girls. Tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you what I want. What I really
want. All right. So that's the end. And Caelin's not going to be able to watch it anymore for a while because...
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, that's the end. Sad. So, guys, please, if you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, we have or like and comment, do all that kind of stuff.
You like and comment under Witty Clothes Productions.
We usually read them on the show.
We do. We're on Facebook at Witty Clothes Productions.
Yay.
We're also on Twitter at Witty Clothes.
Follow us.
We're on Patreon if you want to give us money. And hopefully we'll have some exclusive stuff for you in the near future.
Pay my loans.
We're on iTunes. Please review and rate us. Please and thank you, because we need those.
Yeah.
We have an email.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. We have an email at wittyclothes@gmail.com. I keep saying at wittyclothes at wittyclothes@gmail.com. So yeah, that's it for this episode of First Section Fan Reaction. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll be talking about Orphan Black, Season 1, Episode 7, Parts Developed in an Unusual Manner, and Episode 8, Entangled Bank.
Ooh. Sounds good.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.